Ambassador, Israeli troops are massed along the border with Gaza. They seem poised for a ground invasion. Do you think that kind of invasion is inevitable?
I don't know whether an invasion is inevitable, but some form of massive retaliation will have to take place at some point. Question is what will be ideal, and we always have to remember, going back to your previous interview, that there are hostages in Gaza, and we need to think about them as well.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has talked about flattening Gaza, but what happens next? There are more than 2 million Palestinians living in Gaza right now. Israel isn't going to take over Gaza, is it?
No, definitely not. You can understand the predicament of the Prime Minister whose government had to go through this, and he uses very strong language. But if you think realistically, if Israel is going to conquer Gaza, no one is happy to take it away from Israel. And the last thing on earth Israel wants is to go back to Gaza and control of another 2 million Palestinians. So when we plan our response, we have to take that into account. In fact, there is no good solution to the problem except to include Gaza in a larger Israeli-Palestinian deal that is presently not available.
President Biden this afternoon gave Israel American complete support, but he did urge Prime Minister Netanyahu to act according to international law. Do you think Netanyahu will listen to that call? I mean, it's a support, we'll support you, but don't violate international law. Will he listen to that call for restraint?
I heard that. I hope he does listen. I mean, U.S. friendship and support are essential components of national security, and you don't have to stretch the goodwill of the President of the United States, who has been so friendly and supportive. What he did, I mean, by dispatching the aircraft carrier to the region, will send a very strong signal to Iran. Don't try to meddle in all of this, and to Hezbollah. That was a very important signal.
A ground invasion is incredibly risky, as you know. I heard we had one analyst earlier on in the show describe it as a potential bloodbath for both Israelis and Palestinians.
This is correct. I mean, it's one of the world's densest areas. It's full of fighters and booby traps and underground tunnels, and it would be very costly. I mean, we've had many casualties as it is. We're not interested in inflicting civilian casualties on the Palestinians, and therefore, when we think about our response, we have to calibrate it very precisely.
Historically, Israel has done everything possible to free hostages, even recently releasing more than 1,000 Palestinian prisoners in exchange for a single Israeli soldier held hostage. We're hearing families of hostages say they've heard nothing from the Israeli government about their loved ones. What do you think is going on?
Well, the government is not functioning at full capacity. It is not recovered from the shock yet. But ultimately, there will have to be a deal, there will have to be an exchange. Of course, Hamas will try to extract as many prisoners in Israeli jail as they can, of Islamic Jihad. But I think the urgency, the importance of getting the hostages back is such that we should not get into a counting game.
Yeah, there are reports that President Biden pressed Prime Minister Netanyahu on efforts to find and free those hostages, and that Netanyahu said it was more important right now that Israel show its strength. What's your reaction to that?
You know, you can show your strength also a couple of weeks later. We are looking at historic terms, not in to the imminent politics or headlines. I hope so. And therefore, I think there is a right order to things, and show of strength and recovering Israeli deterrence can take place a bit later. That's, for me, not a priority, or the priority.
Finally, there are reports out of one of the settlements that terrorists massacred entire families, beheading toddlers and even babies. These are unconfirmed reports as of now. but they're widespread. And I just want your reaction to the atrocities that Hamas is boasting of committing.
Yeah, it's, you have to think about Daesh and the fact that they happily severed people's heads in front of television. This kind of brutality, they think, is an asset. It separates them from the rest of humanity, and they belong in the same family. So we know who we're dealing with, yes.
Ambassador Rabinovich, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.